Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This Saturday is UFC Vegas 48, and in the main event, we have a light heavyweight fight between Johnny Walker and Jamal Hill. And this video is going to be my full breakdown and prediction for this fight. I'm not really excited for this card as a whole. It leaves a lot to be desired. The card is just awful. I was really originally looking forward to the original main event, which was RDA versus Rafael Fiziev. Unfortunately, Rafael Fiziev had some type of visa issue, and so the UFC had to push that fight back to UFC 272 in the beginning of March, and then they elevated this, which was the original co-main event in Johnny Walker versus Jamal Hill, up to a 5-round main event, which I think is very important. That, sometimes if this has happened in the past, the UFC will move it up to main event, but make it a 3-round main event instead of the typical 5-round main event. So we'll get a good look at these guys' cardio if the fight does go long. Now, if you look at the tail of the tape, Johnny Walker is currently ranked number 10 in the UFC official rankings. Jamal Hill is ranked number 12. Walker is 29 years old. Hill is 30 years old. Walker is 6'6". Hill is 6'4". Walker has an 82-inch reach, and Hill has a 79-inch reach. So a bit of a height and reach advantage for Johnny Walker. Basically, they're the same age, 29 and 30. If you look at Johnny Walker, and for those of you who may have not followed Johnny Walker's entire UFC career, I mean, it hasn't really been that long. He came in on Dana White Contender Series in 2018. Jamal Hill also came in on Dana White Contender Series. But Johnny Walker came into the UFC after the Dana White Contender Series and absolutely destroyed Khalil Roundtree, which is probably the best win on his resume. He KO'd him via elbows in the clinch. And then he went on to brutally destroy Justin Ledet with a spinning back fist. And then he flying knee KO'd Misha Cirkunov. And in those 3 fights, while they were all spectacular wins, they weren't against the best competition. I think Khalil Roundtree was the best win out of the 3. And people all of a sudden anointed Johnny Walker the guy to beat John Jones. At this point in time, they were saying, this is the guy to beat John Jones. He's tall, he has a long reach, he's explosive, and he hadn't really fought legit competition. And then at UFC 244 back in November of 2019, I actually went to this card live. He got matched up with Corey Anderson, which Corey Anderson at this point in time was making his way up the ranks. And this was, considered Johnny Walker's first real tough test. And Corey Anderson's more considered a wrestler or grappler. And in this fight, Corey Anderson obviously mixed in the clinch work, but he eventually lands a shot on Johnny Walker and hurts him. And Johnny Walker basically never recovers. And Corey Anderson just brutalizes him on the feet with combinations and eventually getting this standing TKO. And after that, then Johnny Walker gets matched up with Nikita Krylov, loses a unanimous decision where he was out-wrestled. Then after that, he fights Ryan Spann. This was in September of 2020. And in this fight against Ryan Spann, it's a first-round KO. Now, if you just look at that on paper, okay, that's a great performance. But if you go back and you look at the fight, in case you don't remember it, Ryan Spann basically flash KO'd Johnny Walker twice within this first round. And then Ryan Spann, I don't know what he was doing. After he hurt Johnny Walker the second time, he started diving in on the legs, and then Johnny Walker just started to throw the most brutal Travis Brown elbows, those sideways elbows to the side of the head, while Ryan Spann was just hanging onto the legs, not moving, not defending himself. There was hammer fists, there was elbows, and eventually Ryan Spann just goes to sleep. His face is in the canvas, and also a terrible stoppage by the referee. Could have been stopped far earlier than that. And then most recently, Johnny Walker fought Thiago Santos, which is the best opponent that Johnny Walker's ever faced, in my opinion. And he loses via unanimous decision in a 5-round main event where he really did nothing but feint. I mean, the fight was competitive, but all he did was feint. And I know there was some talk of Johnny Walker may have had some injuries, but I mean, in this fight, I remember watching it, and it was just Johnny Walker was feinting, and his corner was telling him he was winning. I just absolutely delusional. And that's one other thing I did want to mention about Johnny Walker is he's jumped around to different camps very, very often, and I don't necessarily think that's a great sign. So now if you move over to Jamal Hill, his last fight was December of 2021, so he's actually not taking a lot of time off. He fought Jimmy Crute, where he brutally KO'd him, and this was a nasty finish. And I actually picked against Jamal Hill in this fight because Jamal Hill has shown in the past some grappling and wrestling deficiencies, and I thought Jimmy Crute would be able to exploit those deficiencies. But no, Jamal Hill clipped him badly early. I think it was with a right hook, hurt him badly. He was able to survive, and then eventually, maybe 30 seconds, a minute later, clips him again and finishes him. And it was a spectacular performance against a quality opponent in Jimmy Crute. Not the best opponent. Before that, he lost to Paul Craig. And I will never miss an opportunity to complain about a stoppage. The fight with Paul Craig was one of the worst stoppages by a referee I've ever seen. In this fight, Paul Craig got like a modified armbar where this is absolutely crazy that Jamal Hill potentially didn't suffer career-ending injury. It looked like he had broke his arm, but apparently it was a dislocated elbow, and the arm was flopping around like rubber, and Paul Craig let it go and pointed at it to the ref, and the ref didn't stop it. So then, while Jamal Hill is in this armbar triangle position, Paul Craig starts laying down hammer fist and nasty elbows, and the referee's just looking at him. It took maybe 8 to 15 strikes before the ref finally stepped in, and the arm was just flopping around all over the place. It looked absolutely devastating, but it turned out not to be that serious of an injury, and it was like a dislocated elbow. I'm not 100% sure. His biggest win is probably Ovince St. Preux, December of 2020. He TKO'd him. Nasty combinations on the feet hurt Ovince St. Preux, and eventually standing TKOs him. He also did have that big KO win, or actually it was a TKO with a body shot. I think a step-in knee to the ribs against Kilson Abreu, but it was overturned because of marijuana use, which I think is the dumbest thing you could ever imagine. But either way, neither one of these guys has really, faced elite of the elite competition. Johnny Walker has the edge just because he took on Thiago Santos and Corey Anderson. So I guess that's pretty close to the top of the division. I wouldn't say, up there with the elite of the elite, but two good fighters. And, Jamal Hill's trying to make his way up the division. Johnny Walker's currently ranked number 10. And I think this is an amazing fight. I think both of these guys' styles are super fan-friendly. And I don't really see a way that this fight is not exciting. So both guys are not going to try to grapple each other. So, it's not like Jamal Hill is going to try to expose Johnny Walker's grappling deficiencies. Both guys are susceptible to being taken down, controlled on the ground. That's not going to happen in this fight. This fight, in my opinion, is going to be primarily a striking match. And for my official prediction, I am going to go Jamal Hill via second round TKO. At this point, I just do not trust Johnny Walker's chin. He's been hurt, clipped too many times, and I just don't see him being able to absorb the strikes from Jamal Hill. And Jamal Hill's not one of these guys who's throwing everything into each punch, but he's not, like a got pillow hands like Colby Covington. He has decent power. He throws a lot of straight punches. Johnny Walker's kind of this wild man who likes to throw a lot of flashy techniques. And I just believe that Jamal Hill is going to eventually find the chin. And I'm not super confident in this prediction. I think, Jamal Hill is the better fighter. I think Jamal Hill has the more technical striking. And I think this fight is going to play out on the feet. But Johnny Walker is super explosive and also has nasty power and has power from weird angles where you would think he would not have power. There was a very close standing elbow in the clinch that he really hurt Khalil Roundtree with. And same thing with Ryan Spann, where it was the elbows from the weird position clinched up against the fence. So Johnny Walker could definitely land on Jamal's chin and put him to sleep. But Jamal Hill, I think, is defensively responsible enough. I think he has a high enough fight IQ. I think he has a good variety of attacks. Jamal Hill has great hands as well as great kicks. He will chop the legs of Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's kind of heavy on that lead leg. And I just don't think the feints of Johnny Walker are going to win him this fight. I think Jamal Hill throws nice straight punches. Johnny Walker likes to throw these flashy techniques where he's throwing looping punches. And I just think Jamal Hill is going to be able to take advantage of that, land on Johnny Walker's chin. And Jamal Hill has killer instinct. When he hurt OSP, he immediately went for the kill. He brutalized Jimmy Crute. He didn't really have to go for the kill because it was one punch. He kind of went face down and then it was over. And I just think Jamal Hill has the faster hands probably. That's actually probably really close, in hand speed. But I just think he's more technical. I think he has the better variety of attacks. And, Jamal Hill's going to come in knowing that Johnny Walker's going to try all these flashy techniques. And sometimes it just does not work. When you're fighting maybe Misha Shakurov or Justin Ledet, some of these techniques may work. But against a guy like Jamal Hill, who I believe is a promising up-and-coming contender within the light heavyweight division, I just don't think it's going to work. One thing I definitely want to keep an eye on in this fight is cardio, because this was originally scheduled for 3 rounds, and now it's a 5-round fight. So I'm curious how each guy's cardio looks. And honestly, no matter how this fight goes, I think we will see a finish. Whether Johnny Walker gets some flashy KO with elbows in the clinch, or a flying knee, or a head kick, something along those lines, or Jamal Hill lands with like a straight right and drops Johnny Walker and then finishes him off with ground and pound, which I think will happen. That's, my anticipation. 2nd round TKO. The straight punches land on Johnny Walker's chin and knock him out. No matter what happens, I think this fight ends in a finish. I'd be shocked if it went all the way to a decision, but I kind of hope it goes to a 3rd, 4th round so we can kind of see where both guys' cardio is. But I'm super excited for this fight. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who is going to win this fight? Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching.